Hi guys, and welcome to another Sentai Seiya video review. This time we're going to be looking at the Z-cune, the MMZ01 from Hikonin Sentai Akibaranger. For those who haven't seen Akibaranger or haven't heard of it, it is this year's unofficial Sentai series, and this is something that Toei hasn't done before. This year we got a spoof/homage series to the long-running Super Sentai series. And so the Z-cune is an item that was given to the three main Akibarangers, actually the only Akibarangers. So here we have the Z-cune in its gun form. Included with the Z-cune, you get the two black stands that you see pictured, so that if you want to display it that way on a shelf or in a case, you have that option. All around, this is a pretty nice gun. Paint apps are really good. And looks a lot like it does in the show. Not quite perfect, but a good representation of the Z-cune. So here we have the right side of the Z-cune in gun form, and it's pretty much identical to the other side, except for the fact that it doesn't have the Akibaranger logo on it. Looks beautiful just like the other side. Let's check out the top and the bottom and see how that looks. Now from the top you can see the seams that are very visible from the two sides of the shell of the gun. And it actually looks like it's supposed to clasp together a little bit more, but mine just won't close. And I've seen other pictures of the Z-cune, and it looks like this is probably just the way they're built. A fault with the design, I guess. On the underside also looks pretty good, but again, you can see the seams. But it's a necessary evil because of the fact that this gun is meant to transform, and we'll check that out in a bit. And from the front, looks pretty decent. This thing is actually very big. It's a 1:1 scale replica in size of the Z-cune. As you can see, it fits very well in my hand. And so it's kind of neat, because normally with Super Sentai stuff, it's built for kids, and for the adult collectors out there, it's usually too small. But this is nice. It's got some heft. It's got weight behind it. I mean, this is really nice. It feels good in the hand. Without being told that the on-off switch is actually back here. It's this guy right. See right here. Probably wouldn't have been able to find out where it was. The Bandai did a good job at hiding it. Also, the place for the batteries is actually well hidden. Can you really tell where it is? No? Well, here it is. You simply press this little screw hole right here, and this pops up. Then inside you have the compartment with the where the battery goes. Obviously you would need an actual screwdriver to pop this open, and it takes two LR44 batteries to power this item. Let's see what kind of sounds this thing has. So let's turn this guy on by pressing the switch up. And once you turn it on and press the trigger, you get the Z-cune sound that the gun makes when they transformed, accompanied by the little jingle. It also makes a firing sound, and when you press this top set of buttons over here, it makes the transmission noise for when they were getting communication in from Hirose Hakase. And finally, there is also a sound effect for the special attack, the Hasatsu, the finishing move that the Akibarangers do. And for this, press and hold the top button, and it'll charge up the gun, not very long. Let's see how long it goes. It's probably like 5 to 7 seconds, I think. And it stops. But if you press and hold the top button, charge up the gun, and then press the trigger, you get the sound effect for the final move that the Akibarangers do, along with some explosions at the end. So the transformation for the Moe Z-cune is actually pretty easy and straightforward. First, you lift up the side panels of the gun, revealing the body of Aoi-tan and her face. And then you can pop up the other panels to separate them a little bit. And that's that. Then you can move her leg out a little bit and pop the barrel of the gun in so you get a nice even surface with both the feet. And finally, you rotate her hand so it looks right, not like she just broke her hand all creepy looking. That's pretty much it. Now the neat thing about the stand that we saw earlier for the gun is it also doubles as a stand for the figure. Simply just pop the leg in, and there you go. Now this is a beautiful figure. I'm going to straight out say this, I am not a fan of Moe. Not my favorite type of art style. I'm more of an old school anime fan, so not my thing, but I can definitely appreciate the love and care that Bandai took into recreating Aoi-tan, the anime character in the Akibaranger series, and also the figure inside of the gun as she is seen here. It's a beautiful figure. The paint apps are awesome. You can appreciate all the nice colors and detail that Bandai put into this. It looks great from all sides. One of the things that I really liked is the little gem on there, the little translucent gem. It looks really cool. I mean, all around, kudos to Bandai for recreating the Aoi-tan, the Moe Z-cune, in such a great form. Now, I also wanted to mention that the fit between the figure and the gun is actually pretty tight. Let me close her back up a little bit to show you guys what I'm talking about. So now that I've put Aoi-tan halfway back into the gun form, you can see that the fit is really close between the figure and the shell of the gun. And with my figure, I've had the issue of some paint rubbing here on the armband because of it, so I don't even know if there's a way to get around this. When Bandai packaged this figure, it actually came with two plastic pieces, or two sheets of plastic I should say, one in front and then one in the back, so that when in transit the gun was in gun form, there was no paint rubbing. Now as for articulation with this figure, the gun actually rotates, and if you can get this out of the way, you can do not a 360, but what you call it, like a 320 degree rotation. Also, the head moves thanks to a nice clicky ratchet joint. Now I wanted to mention that when the face rests forward, it actually touches the scarf. So with my figure, you can't really see it from that far away, but there is a little paint rubbing on the bottom left cheek of the figure. So she's got a little red smudge mark. So there you have it, the Moe Z-cune from Hikonin Sentai Akibaranger. A very well made gun, a very well made figure, and a toy that transforms into both. So this was an interesting experiment on Bandai's part, because they made a Super Sentai transformation device for the adult collector out there. So I think this was Bandai's way of testing the waters to see if there is a market for this type of product, and I think it panned out pretty well. Bandai is looking to release the Kamen Rider W double driver next year, but this time it's going to be modified for the adult collector by having the belt be a little bit larger. So we'll see how far Bandai runs with this type of product. The Super Sentai and Kamen Rider, the superhero time toys, the transformation toys made for adult collectors out there. So that's it for this review. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will catch you around.